Hey, my friend. Welcome back to the Cosmic Mystic. My name is Danie. This is where we blend strategy and soul work for healers, coaches, and conscious leaders who are building a soul-led business and fully support their mission. I am Danie, your inner work alchemist, cosmic mystic, and creator of the Sacred CEO framework designed to help you stay grounded and aligned and abundant as you expand your impact. This is our weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast, my friend, where we are helping you navigate the energies of the planet, your inner world, and how that is reflecting outwardly so that you can align, my friend, to your sacred rhythm, to nature's rhythm, and step we bold into your purpose. My friend, this here is one of my favorite things to do every single week is come and share what is happening with you in sidereal astrology so that you can navigate these energetic shifts. So let's get right into it. We don't have too many things to talk about, but we do have a few. Now, remember, this is our weekly forecast. And so we're looking at what is happening just in this week, May 5th through the 11th. But if you want to hear about the whole overview for the month, be sure to check out the May overview where we talk about all the things that are happening this month, the bigger picture. And then these videos here, these weekly videos, are really diving in and honing into what is happening in that week and what we're leading into. So you can not only hear it from the big picture, but then get the little bursts here. Now, I want you to also keep in mind that we not only have the YouTube channel, we have the charts where you can see everything that I'm doing. You can see me if you are like, okay, great, I want to see all the charts, or maybe you're like, hey, I just want to listen to this. I just want to hear the audio, or maybe you're listening to this as you're driving or something, and you're like, I can't, I just want to hear her. Well, then come on over to the Cosmic Mystic podcast. Yes, there is a podcast, and yes, there's a YouTube channel. Both of them share the content for the astrology overviews and the weekly forecast. There's also more stuff on the podcast interviews that I do with other amazing souls, as well as things about each astrology season. And we're going to see more content over on the YouTube channel. So make sure, my friend, you are coming over on both platforms and hanging out with us. All right, let's do my favorite thing, which is the state of our planets. So as you can see, we've got our planets. We've still got these all of this concentrated energy. I was going to say concerted. Wow. Concentrated energy over here in Pisces. So let's kick off. We've got Chiron, who we're going to talk about later, doing its transition into Aries. We've got Mercury here at 28 degrees Pisces. We've got Venus here at 8 degrees Pisces, Neptune, 7 degrees Pisces. So those guys are still conjunct. We've got Saturn here, still conjunct to Neptune and Venus in Pisces. And we've got our North Node conjunct to Saturn in Pisces. We've also got Pluto down here in Capricorn. We've got our South Node in Virgo. Our moon kicks off this Cinco de Mayo in Leo. And we've got Mars in Cancer still. Jupiter is in Taurus still just for a little bit longer. It will be transitioning into Gemini. We talk about that in the forecast, in the overview May forecast. And then we've got Uranus here at 2 degrees Taurus, and our sun still hanging out in Aries for just a little bit longer. We'll see that transition happen later in the month, in actually next week. All right. Let's dive in because we've got some things to talk about. First off, I want to talk about this Uranus and conjunction that is going to be happening with the sun. So Sun and Uranus right here on the 11th. We are going to see these two guys come together and begin their conjunction, which is going to be through the 23rd of May. So this happens right at the edge of our week here on Sunday as we transition into the new week, we've got Sun conjunct Uranus. Now, anytime the Sun and Uranus come together, there's usually some change, some excitement, things that are breaking us free from our norm, our day to day routine, the things that we do on the norm that are getting a little stagnant and stuck. And so I would anticipate that we're going to see some change, some unexpected change. We're going to see some exploring of our own freedom and rebellion. You might want to feel this yourself. Like you might not want to, you might be feeling this yourself, or you're wanting to break free from things. You're wanting to rebel against things. You're wanting to rise up against things. This may be coming through right here very strong from the 11th on to that 23rd. So pay attention to what is happening and remember that everything is always working out in your favor. Everything is always working out in your favor. The universe, God, divine source, creation is always working for you, with you. Keep that in mind, my friend, as these changes may seem abrupt, they may seem chaotic, they may seem like, oh, what the heck is hitting the fan right now, but it is always for your greatest and highest good. All right, let's take a look at our next uh, aspect that I want to share with you, and that is our full moon in Libra. Now, I'm going to give you just a little bit of detail about this because we are preparing for full moon this week, which means our energy is going to be rising as we get to that peak of the full moon energy on the 12th, on Monday at roughly 11:57 a.m. Central Time. And this here, we're talking about an Aries Libra aspect. So the moon will be in Libra, who will be in opposition to that sun at the very edge of Aries at 28 degrees. Now, Aries in Libra is about me and we, me versus we. And so there is this equilibrium between our need for independence, our need to take care of ourselves, our need to put ourselves first, with our desire to create connection with others, to have meaningful relationships with other people. Now, my love and I have said for years, it's our own personal mantra is I love me to love thee. I have to love myself. I have to show up as my best self and do the work for myself so that I can be a really good partner to him, right? To them. I want to be the best version of myself for myself, and also so that I can be a good guide for others, a good partner for him, right? And so this is the energy of this full moon that will be connecting in through over this next week. So I wanted to bring you that because, my friend, that could be really, really beautiful as we step into that, and keep listening for more. I'll be talking about more, especially on the podcast as well as my Instagram. All right, let's talk about our planet Mercury. We've got just a couple of things I want to share with you. Number one being we've got a conjunction that is falling off here that started at the beginning of, edge of last week, stepping into the middle here of this week. So we see this conjunction here with Chiron, as Chiron has moved into Aries. Now, Chiron moving into Aries on the 3rd it's our wounded warrior, right? Chiron is our wounded warrior, and he is moving into this this warrior energy, this fire energy, this action oriented, let's do this energy. And one of the core themes that I've really been feeling with Chiron in Aries as it's making this transition, which will be for about 8 to 9 years, is what am I fighting for? What am I fighting for? Am I fighting for my my current circumstances? Am I fighting for my future self? Am I fighting for a belief that is outdated and old and stale? Am I fighting for my new beginnings? What am I fighting for, right? What am I fighting for within myself? Now, I talked a lot about this in the overview But this really is, we might find that some of those old wounds that you might be like, Danie, I've worked on this. Danie, I've done the work around this. My friend, there are layers. There are layers upon layers upon layers upon layers. It's like that onion they talk about. I'm sure you've heard it. We're just peeling it back. There's a new layer coming forward around something for your greatest and highest good, my friend. My friend, we do this work so that we can be our best selves, that we can allow the aspects of ourselves that are already here, that are just hidden from us, to be able to come forward. So there's a lot of really beautiful energy that is coming through with this Aries, Chiron in Aries, of just being done and over with. I also talked about if you were born between 1968 to 1977, means you're probably around 50, 51, right? This is a time of really deep healing for you. So if you're feeling like, I'm just out of alignment, I want to be doing this, but I'm doing this, and I've been journaling and I've been meditating and I've been going and doing these things like EMDR and these holistic therapies, and it's still not working, my friend, I understand. I understand. There's deeper work that has to be done. And, I'd love to be the guide to do that with you, to guide you through that, to make these transitions as you work with your ego, because there could be a lot coming forward for you. All right, let's talk about the other aspect that I want to talk about with Mercury, and that is going to be the square over to Pluto, which is also going to give us, there it is, square over to Pluto, which is also going to lead us into talking about Pluto going retrograde. So Mercury square Pluto is where there's a lot of deep thinking. There's a lot of intense interactions that tend to happen. Things get more deep, more intense. And so it could be more extreme. We can also get really focused in on something, like our thoughts can really get focused in on an idea or a belief. Now, that can serve us or that can harm us. If it's a belief that is not serving us and we're getting fixated over and over and over and over on how much this thing is harming us or hurting us, or how much we don't like this thing, right? That is something it can definitely be harmful for us. We can also use this energy for something that we do want. Maybe there's a belief that you're stepping into that you absolutely want to happen, to have. Let's focus on that one. Let's get fixated. Let's fixate our energy on what we are bringing in, what we are calling in. And this right here, Mercury and Pluto, from the 9th through the 15th, a beautiful week roughly, where you can absolutely allow yourself to focus on what you do want. Now, the challenge is going to be, though, is there could be some darker things that are coming forward for you, right? Those darker beliefs, those darker ideas, things can come out of the shadows, because that's what Pluto tends to do, is bring things out of the shadow and into consciousness here. And so I want you to just be mindful of that. We don't ever want to get rid of the shadow. We don't want to ever get rid of the dark. We want to understand it, understand its pull, its rule over us, and why it is there. Okay. Now, the final thing, let's talk about that Pluto retrograde that is happening May 4th. May 4th. So that's Sunday, right? It was yesterday as we move into the week here. This is Pluto in retrograde, and this is focused on deep structural transformation. This is in power, authority, established systems. This transit is inviting us to examine our relationship with power and control, releasing the outdated structures in our life, attachments to status and achievement, and the things that are not not of our greatest and highest good. I often look at this as the devil card, this particular time when it is in retrograde of the devil card, where we are putting material over spiritual. And so I invite you to reverse that card and looking at doing some shadow work around the hidden aspects of yourself, doing that deeper work, releasing control, identifying where that controls a trauma response, my friend. So where can we release some of that control, that feeling of authority that is not in our greatest and highest good? And just revisiting some of the things around power and control for sure. So, business, you want to look at strategic restructuring, power dynamics, resource optimization, really optimizing your resources, stepping into that long term vision as well. My friend, this here is our Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of May 5th through the 11th. I do want to take just one quick moment to let you know that if you want to learn more about astrology for self mastery, I am going to be starting a new cohort around astrology for self mastery, really learning how to embody your natal chart, your cosmic soul blueprint. So, if that is something that excites you, if that is something that you want to learn more about, I'm doing a beta run. We're doing a small cohort where eventually it will be launched at a much higher price. And it'll probably look a little bit different because we're going to run through some of the kinks. I've run this course before a couple of years ago, and I've made some tweaks, and I'm excited to bring it back. So if you're interested in that, there's a link down in the description box. You can go over to thepeaceteacher.com/astrology self mastery, and you can find it there. All right, my friend, until next time, remember to keep shining your unique light.